Used to females who's the sexiest is always the nastiest. Straight is the way to the gay, straight is the way to the gay. In my lane, why they gotta get in my, why they gotta get in my lane, in my lane. Straight is the way to the gay, straight is the way to the gay. In my lane. I'm gone, can't stick around for too long. I'm moving on. In my lane. I've been missing in action. Trying my best to remain blameless, fleeing from sin. I've been missing, I'm missing in action. In my way up purifying in the gardens. You shouldn't do that. There's a tree in the midst, 2/3 looking at it like, what we about to eat at? Serpent on the branch, I don't see that. They're like, nah, where you see that? They're like, hey, you should join us. Everybody about to be that. Many called, only few chosen. I can stick around, gotta get going. I got other plans, but this ain't one of them. Gotta stay rooted, there's a storm coming in. Gate with my name, don't know which one it is. If you ain't sealed, then you ain't going in. Hard to make friends when they don't understand. Show them to the light, but they don't clear it. Why they gotta get in my, why they gotta get in my lane, in my lane. Straight is the way to the gate, straight is the way to the gate, in my lane. Why they gotta get in my, why they gotta get in my lane, in my lane. Straight is the way to the gate, straight is the way to the gate, in my lane. I'm gone, can't stick around for too long. I'm moving on. In my lane. I've been missing, I'm missing in action. In my lane. Trying my best to remain blameless, fleeing from sin. In my lane. I've been missing, I'm missing in action. In my lane. You be my shelter, my hedge for life. I realize out of sin, you be my shelter, my hedge for life. I realize I've had enough for me, I've had enough for me. Baby, don't have to be perfect, did you say? Don't you leave it up to me, I've had enough for me. Baby, don't have to be. Turn on with the basics. Can't go wrong with the basics. Beats going hard, can you taste this? Ain't no reason to be leaving with long faces, nah. It ain't up to me, no, it ain't up to me. Believe or they don't believe, receive or they don't receive. Can't take it personally, no. See, I love the laws, I like to run with the best. So leave me alone, y'all gon' kick it with the rest, Y'all ain't heard it like this, nah, 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 nah. Dude, you're always on my mind. Life's been a changing, turned up, rearranging. Out of business all set from the dailies. I just wanna be blameless. I ain't tryna be the one that's blaspheming. Ain't tryna be the one that's flashing. Ain't tryna be the one that's bragging. No, but be the one that's lasting through. And giving up, here's the patience. Just remember the basics. And giving up, here's your training. Just remember the basics. You be my shelter, my
I'm the farthest thing from perfect, yeah. I be feeling like I'm worthless, yeah. You still think I'm worth it, oh yeah. Really, I don't deserve this. This makes me nervous. No, you see past the surface, and I didn't stay true to the plans we made. Did you a disservice? Lost my mind when you went away. You ain't in, it's not the same. Just can't help but to feel away. Just can't help but to feel away. Lost my mind when you went away. You ain't in, it's not the same. Just can't help but to feel away. Just can't help but to feel away.
You be my shelter, my hedge for life. I realize out of sin, you be my shelter, my hedge for life. I realize I've had enough of me. I've had enough of me. Give it all up to me. Perfect as you say. Don't you leave it up to me. I've had enough of me. Give it all up to me. Give it all up to me.
What's real, and what ain't, I've been gone.
Yo. All over the world, we about to go. Truth is coming out, that's what you need to know. Blacks and Hispanics is the Israelites you need to know. You ain't never gonna hear this from a pastor though. You done ended in the den with some lions. You done ended in the den with some lions. Yo. All over the world, we about to go. Truth is coming out, that's what you need to know. Blacks and Hispanics is the Israelites you need to know. You ain't never gonna hear this from a pastor though. You done ended in the den with some lions. You done ended in the den with some lions.
All right. You hear the hungry lion. Must be 7 o'clock on Sunday.
Must be.
Hungry for some blood.
There it is. I thought I was the only one here.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock on Sunday, bro.
Hey, welcome, brothers. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah. We here with you.
Proud, man.
Shalom, Israel. Y'all, I know y'all tuned in, ready for another good show today to close out your weekend.
Yes, sir.
Lionz in radio show once again, 7 p.m. And we're here to bring you the truth of what's the craziness going on in the world today. What's the name of the show Makai set up today? The Underbelly of America.
Hey, Cap, it seems like we was just here.
Yeah, man. It's been a good weekend. It's how it should be every week. And all y'all respective schools, you know, once Thursday hit, it should be game time. Not that it ain't game time all the time, because, you know, a lot of camps doing 31 days of camp.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got demons in the morning.
Demons in the morning.
You got classes 7 days a week.
Exactly.
I mean, you got radio shows going every day. You got MOV. You know, you got expos, grand openings. You know, you got traveling. So that's that's like when people call in and like, what can I do? Like the brother,
Right.
Just join.
We'll see.
Right.
If you still want to be saying that, you can say, what can I stop doing?
Exactly.
Right.
Because it ain't about what can you do. It's how much can you do?
Exactly.
What can you handle? That's the real question. So, but yeah, like you say, it was a good weekend. So, you know, like I always like to do on Sunday night, before we get into it, how was everybody's week? How was your week?
It was
it
was a good week, man. It was a good one. I'm here. I'm alive, still in the truth, so can't complain, man. I gotta say it was a good week. He said your mic is not on. He don't need a mic as loud as he be. I know they still heard him.
It's on right now. Can y'all hear me?
Can I hear him in my headphones?
I hear you.
You can hear him?
Yeah.
Well, you know he's loud, man. You're going to hear him regardless.
IT was saying low. Hey, shalom, everybody. Shalom, shalom. All right, can y'all hear me now? Can everybody hear me? Y'all got my mic low. It was on. Can y'all hear me on my mic?
Put some Judah in that mic.
They still said my mic low.
It still says low.
Put some Judah in Cap's mic.
They scared. They scared because they don't want to give me equal opportunity. Why they don't want to give me equal opportunity? They don't want to see me shine.
Hey, you're in the underbelly, man. You're in the underbelly of America. Can't even get a good mic.
IT racist, man. Say I'm still lower than everybody else. That's jacked up.
I'm about to trade mics, man. I'm about to trade.
No. Don't trade the mic. Don't trade the mic.
What about that mic over there?
I don't know. They're gonna get it right.
That's gonna be need to be used.
So Mike L said this week was good. How was your week, Soldier Lahad?
My week was good.
Hey,
you know it was good.
It was just good. That's it.
It was good.
Hey,
You said that with a smile.
It was
Matter of
actually
fact-
good. Yeah, I did smile. It was great. It was
great.
It was a great week.
hold on. I got.
How's the last 2 weeks been for you? That is the question.
That is the question. I'm finna send something to the IT.
Relaxing.
Okay.
Relax.
Finally.
Right.
I did catch up on some sleep though.
I'll be back. I'll be back. We'll get a treat coming in.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta leave.
I'm sending y'all something, IT. Editors.
You gotta leave.
On that note, I gotta go, man.
Oh, what happened? Oh, the brother already?
Yeah,
What time he coming?
7:15.
Oh, are we
Hey, but
starting the show with him?
He's on time.
Okay, I didn't know we were starting the show. I didn't even pay attention to your message. I saw it 7:30.
But I told him to be at
Okay, I got you. So guest that's online, we got a special guest today. It's gonna be a new section we're gonna have on Lionz Den Radio. It's called Bridging the Gap. So we actually got we actually got a radio host from the world. He's gonna come in on the show and share his perspective on some of the topics that we're gonna touch on. So we're looking forward to that. And like I say, it's called Bridging the Gap. So when we get there, y'all will know. So if y'all see somebody up here without a purple shirt, that's who that is. Hey, but play that video because the brother said he had a good week. We're gonna show y'all why he had a good week. Bring it out.
Oh, praise.
Bring it out.
Play the video if we got it. Okay. Oh, nice. Fade out and fade in. Okay. Chill.
Now what we saying?
Now
what you saying?
Yeah. He got a house now. He ain't just a man.
That's right.
Hands in the sky.
Hands in the sky.
Now we all say congratulations. Congratulations. For a new life, new day.
I was feeling that.
Yeah, that's on hard.
Say congratulations. Congratulations. For a new life, new day, new time, and a new. Now we always say congratulations. Congratulations. Whoa. For a new life,
praises.
new day, new time, and a new way.
So,
congratulations.
if you didn't know,
I see you.
the soldier got married.
Oh,
Now you know.
December 5th. I see you.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey.
So,
Cap.
Yes,
He
sir.
still ain't add me to the group. Just saying.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
I don't think I have authority to anymore, sir.
We'll take care of that.
praise.
We can get him added to the marriage is honorable.
We'll take care of
Well,
that.
Come on
you
now,
can't
dog.
join the marriage is honorable until you had an argument.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I had about it. I had
Bring
a
it
couple of
out.
those during the
No,
food
man, dude. We get you at it. We get you at it.
My noodles wasn't soft enough.
Oh, praise. Oh, praise. So his week was good. Where all you went, Soldier?
We went to Brazil
Mhm.
and we went to Rio de Janeiro. We stayed in Niterói. It was good, man. Good food. Good food in Brazil.
All
Real
praise,
good
all
food.
praise. What's the state of the people out there?
I think it's worse than here. You know,
Yeah.
they comfortable and they don't realize that they're in captivity.
Damn.
So I think that's worse than what we live in now.
Damn.
You know?
But like you said, like you was telling me, them favelas is way worse
yeah,
than the hood in
the
America, right?
favelas is bad. It's like a 12-story apartment next to a 20-story apartment next to a 20-story
Yeah.
apartment. It's bad. It's bad.
Man.
It's
And all
stacked.
of it look run down.
Stacked on top of each
It
other.
looked like they made it with just 10. Just
Damn.
10 in whatever concrete they can find. That's
Right.
that's what it looked like.
Damn. How was your week, Officer Camille?
It's good, and it's been long. Doing a lot of work this week, so
All praise.
I'll praise to the Most High for that.
Stacking bricks to the ceiling fan. Go high as I can. How was your week, Officer Uzil?
Yeah. This week was confusing.
Confusion.
Confusion in my workspace. But we got to figure it out.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Going into this next week is going to be pretty smooth.
Okay. So a long week. Myself, as y'all know, I'm a school teacher, so school is almost out. We started exams.
Hey.
So we got early days. So I got Monday and Tuesday, then I'm on my winter break.
Yeah,
So, I'm excited. We're going to get some stuff done.
That's right.
I've been mentally gone a long time ago. So I'm just done now. So everybody know you got the wicked holidays. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, those that are listening in, Christmas is of the devil. Just want to make sure y'all know that real quick.
Yeah.
December the 25th is not Jesus Christ's birthday. It's not when he was conceived. Nope. I don't know if y'all watched that. Let's bring that out real quick, just for the people that's watching. There may be some people that ain't watching real quick. Right. I mean, people that's watching that don't know that Christmas is of the devil. Also, if you want to call in throughout the show, the number is 863-877-0693. Give me that Jeremiah 10 real quick.
Start at verse 1.
And you know what's so crazy? We was at a camp today. We was speaking to a sister,
right?
Older sister. She know. I know Christ wasn't born on December 25th.
Right.
But there's always a but.
Right.
To why I'm going to still be in the midst of idolatry.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Read that real quick. Yeah, start at 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord. Learn not the way of the heathen.
Do what?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
So the Bible tells us as the Israelites to not learn the way of the heathen. Read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain.
For the what?
For the customs of the people are vain.
So now we're going to read about some of the customs of the people, of the heathen, of the other nations. Read.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
They do what?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck a tree with silver and gold. Read.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. And they are upright as the palm tree.
And they are upright as the palm tree. So ask yourself, what custom takes place where you cut a tree out of the forest, you bring it in your house, and you deck it with silver and gold? Don't play with the Most High God. Don't play with him. The scripture's letting you know that the tradition and customs of Christmas is a heathen custom, and we are not to do it. All right? We are not to do it. Hey. Y'all get that first video up. We're going to start with the bill that's going place with slavery, and we're going to bring him in and see and get his opinion on that. He here?
He's here.
Go ahead.
Want to bring one up?
Yeah,
we're going to bridge the gap right now.
So, hey, get that video together. The Oklahoma Republican introduces bill to limit slavery. So we're going to get into it. And we're going to bring our guest on to the show. And we're going to show y'all, we're going to go through the scriptures and go through the articles, and we're going to get some insight from those on the outside as well, because we want to hear how our people think outside of our opinions. All right. Hey, how we doing, brother? Good. Nice to meet y'all. Yes, sir. So let's get into it. Let me see here what I said. So you can grab the headphones and Mr. Is it Bethia or Bethia? Bethia. Yeah. All right. Make sure his mic on, Uzil. So, hey, I sent y'all a picture of his card so the people know who we speaking with. This is Mr. Brian T. Bethia. Bethia. All right.
Bethia. Want me to read his give him a little intro?
Yeah, let's get his intro so the people know who we speaking with.
We got Mr. Brian T. Bethia. He's an actor, spoken word poet, and I heard the spoken words. The brother good. The brother's bad boy, and that's spoken word.
Okay.
Actor, spoken word poet, a host of the Confessions with Brian T. Bethia podcast. It's on WJHM 102 Jams. Brian is a native New Yorker, so you know I'm cool with him. He's a native New Yorker with a degree in sports management from Hampton University. HBCU.
Yep.
Who continues to use the arts as a way to uplift and inspire communities around the world.
Okay. So you got a strong background, especially dealing with our people from listening to that. So today, welcome to the Lionz Den Radio Show. First and foremost, I'm Captain OC. This is Officer Kemuel, Officer Mikey L, Soldier Lahad, and Officer Uziel. So, and I know we'll remind you as you go through because I know it's your first time. That's cool. You can just call us brother. That'll work. So we're gonna show you a few articles, and we want to get your insight on it as well as ours. So, now you deal in the radio space yourself, correct?
Correct.
All right.
More so it's podcast, but
okay.
Same, basically the same thing.
Gotcha. Now, what all topics and things do you deal with in your podcast? What would you say your specialty is?
It really varies, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I do my best not to stay to one just topic.
Right.
I'll say one of my favorites is dealing with relationships.
Okay.
So I started it like a relationship series because part of I know the fabric and the foundation of a country is a family.
Right.
And because with the divorce rate is so high, the couples are breaking apart or what have you, and it's leaving children without a good foundation in terms of what a good relationship is. So,
okay.
That's part of my favorite. And then also I interview like a lot of artists. That's another thing, and business entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Well.
Good. So we got a few entrepreneurs on the stage as well. So I want to deal with something that you just said, relationships.
Yeah.
Because that's big in the world today.
Right.
That's big in the world today. Let me ask you this. What is a marriage? Because I don't know. People don't know what is a marriage in today's society when you're dealing with relationships.
Now, Brian, after you answer, like I told you before, we're coming from a biblical perspective.
Right.
So when you give an answer, a lot of us is going to come from, you see all the books in front of us is the Bible.
Right.
So just to let you, just so you know where we're coming from. Okay. So that's going to be the back and forth. What you say, and we go to the Bible and we show you what, because a lot of it's not going to be our thought. It's going to be what God says.
Right.
Just wanted to let you know about
That's right.
Well, I'm going to give a little bit of a mixture
of
both. Starting from like a biblical aspect of it, it is a covenant, bond between, between a married couple, between a man and a woman or what have you.
Hold on, Mr. Brian. What did you say it's between?
I know it's. I say it, man, and I know, and don't get me wrong, no disrespect to my brothers in the LGBTQ community, what have you, because I have a lot of friends that are in that community. I know it's just my personal belief,
right.
And I don't mean no disrespect to them or what have you. But I know for the way that we're looking at it as the biblical aspect of it, it's a covenant between a man and a woman,
right?
In that regard. It's also a business partnership,
right?
Because when you do get married, by law, a lot of things have to be like, for instance, a wife or a husband, depending on who's in the hospital. The spouse gets final say in terms of like if they pull in the plug, if the other spouse is in, so there's that. There's in a will, who gets the property when one person dies. It's the biggest thing is a helpmate. I know for a man, a wife is a very, very significant part of the marriage, and I think it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of women get underappreciated in terms of their importance of a marriage.
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, I mean, you guys can tell me better. It's not. When I look at it, I'm like, what do men really get out of a marriage, so to speak,
Wow, that's funny.
Or rather, what do a woman get out of a husband in a marriage? Because I know we get a lot out of the wife, or what have you. And if a man has a great wife, she's your counselor, your business counselor, your fashion designer. Because a good wife ain't gonna let her husband walk out the house, looking all crazy, or what have you.
Bring it out.
And some are a cook, some, but just gives a man really good advice. Like, for instance, Killer Mike, bring up the business aspect. His wife, the rapper Killer Mike, he wanted to buy like about a 6-figure car, but his wife told him to make a $250,000, I believe it was a $250,000 investment in property, what have you. So it's a partnership that should work well for the benefit of, the mankind.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I want to deal with You said a lot. You on Clubhouse at all?
No, not yet.
Because it's funny you said that, because we actually just had a topic about that. Who was the prize in the marriage? We went what, about 6-7 hours that night on that topic.
That's a good. Hey, we asked that question.
Yeah. Well, he already said it. He think the woman the prize.
that was it basically out of that question. The woman is the prize.
The woman is the prize. Absolutely.
So we're gonna deal with it. So first, I wanna, before you go, I wanna because what you said was right. Dealing with the marriage. That's the first thing we want to make sure our people understand. And when I say our people, I'm talking about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, those that have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, from the sub-Saharan slave trade and the transatlantic slave trade. When you actually read the Bible, those people are the biblical Israelites. And like you said, family is the foundation for a nation. And when you look at our people,
that's right.
Throughout the world, the one place they attacked was the family structure amongst our people.
Right.
And what they removed from the family, they didn't remove the mother from the family. They removed the father.
Right.
That's letting you know the strongest and most important position of that household is that man. Because at not one point, they say, hey, let's keep the father with the children and let the woman go. Nah, they said, leave that woman with the children and take the father out of the household and watch what happens. But we're going to show you that scripturally. Let's go to Matthew 19 real quick, because I want to show them, well, not him, he already agrees with that. I want to show the viewers that what he said about marriage, because this is a very big topic when dealing with marriage, is that we are indeed, it's between a man and a woman.
What do you like a Bible? What do you like a Bible?
Read that.
I didn't tell you to bring a Bible. I can got one. I'm going to get you one.
Have you read in that it was between a man and a woman?
Matthew 19.
You read it? Who read?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Okay,
verse 5.
Yes.
Yep. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 5. And
Bring it
said,
out.
For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
Read.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
And what?
They twain shall be one flesh.
Start at 4. I'm sorry.
Verse 4.
Yep.
And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning?
At the beginning, when everything was started, when you read in Genesis 2, at the beginning, he what?
Made them male and female.
He made them male and female. So exactly what Mr. Bethia said is that marriage is between a man or a woman. And like he said, we're not saying that to harm or hate anyone. We're going to speak truth. That's what the Bible commands us to say, and we're going to speak it. Because everybody will agree that the black, brown, Hispanic community is under assault. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So the question is, what is the solution? Go ahead, Mike.
That's just the reality of it. You can't build a nation or a world or procreate if marriage is not between a man and a woman. So, like you said, not a shot against anybody, but that's the God, I would say, God common sense of the matter.
Yep.
Man and a woman to make more men and woman. Not man and man, not woman and woman cannot make more of the same thing.
Right. Absolutely. So, and now I want to deal with what he said about he said, that the woman having a woman was a business proposition as well. Give me that in Sirach about he beginneth his possession.
That's going to be in this book.
Yep. Give him that.
That's going to be in
because he was absolutely correct. A man, he starts his foundation of his business when he gets that wife.
And real quick, Brian, this is what he has right here, Officer Kenywell, he has a real 1611 King James Version Bible. So what you got in your hand right there was in the original King James Version. They took it, the white man took it out. Yeah. That's why that book is called the Apocrypha.
Yeah, I have a Bible. I have a Bible with the Apocrypha in it.
Okay, good. So you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got that?
That's right.
Okay, Ecclesiasticus.
25.
Ecclesiasticus for the brother. The brother
24.
He looking for Sirach. He's not going to find Sirach in there. So that's Ecclesiasticus in that red book.
Yeah, help me out over there, Ezeel.
We got a call.
Hey, Shalom caller, what's your name, question or comment, and where you calling from?
Dexter Israel, calling from Fort Mitchell, Alabama.
Hey, how you doing?
Alabama.
What's your question or comment?
Oh, question and comment. I'm just not getting into the truth. Me and my wife here about 4 months ago, and I'm trying to find out some days that hunt. So we're trying to get in. We in the middle.
Okay, all praise, all praise. Well, we appreciate you, and we pray you stay faithful. All right.
So him and his wife.
Okay, trying to find out what days that Hanukkah day is, where it started, when it ends.
All right. So this year it actually started on December the 13th, and it's the start of the end starts tomorrow night at sundown. So tomorrow night starts the end of the feast.
You can also go to IsraelUnite.org for that information.
IsraelUnite.org.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you'll get all the holy days going to be on that website.
Oh, okay, then I sure do appreciate that. Shalom, shalom.
All right,
thanks
brother.
for your call,
Shalom.
All right, you got that scripture?
Yes, sir.
All right, now this is going with what Brian said about starting that business proposition between a man and his wife. Read that.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36 and verse 25.
Bring it out. 24.
Verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Right. When you get your wife, you begin your possession. That's when your legacy really starts. Because from when you have a wife, now you can have children. Now you can continue that legacy for years to come. Read.
A help like unto himself.
Uh-huh.
And a pillar of rest.
And what?
And a pillar of rest.
And a pillar of rest. Read.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
But the woman, if that woman does not have that man, it says that she becomes spoiled. That's what we see today amongst a lot of our sisters today. The ones that are killing and murdering their own children, the ones that are being what's the word I want to say? Violent towards their own baby daddies. They won't let the children see the father. They berate them in front. I was just watching a TikTok video Bishop post. Brother come in to see his son, and all she's saying, you a BAN, and over right in front of the son. Like, how is that helping the situation?
Hey, did you see the guy? I don't know if he fat. The guy, he killed his
I heard about that.
Yeah.
And the current girlfriend.
Yes.
That was crazy, bro. And the way
why you say
he did it live on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, because of what you just saying right now. She wouldn't let the kids see him, and she made up an allegation that he was touching on the kids.
Right.
And I mean,
wait a minute.
The way the dude was telling the story, he
minute.
looked real calm.
Right.
He was like, I just can't take it no more. I can't take these. And what happened was, ex-wife did it to him. So the new girlfriend that he got with was doing the same thing. I just put him over the edge.
Right.
Damn. Oh, his new girlfriend was agreeing with it?
No, she did the same thing to him. Did the same thing to him.
Wow.
She had the same playbook.
Wow. That's sad. That's sad. Damn. So, hey, let's go to that first video and let's see what's going on. So now, Brian, what we're seeing amongst our community, because, like you said, family is the foundation, and we also know history is very important.
Correct.
Because we know how important our history is, because you see what people do when they take you over. When you're conquered, what do? They change your name, they change your culture, and they change the history, or they don't teach you your history at all.
Right.
So you never know who you are, because the oldest saying in the book, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. And us as a people, that fits us to a T. Our oppressors have done a wonderful job destroying us from our history and who we are as a people. That's why
this is America.
You ask black people, you can ask a room, 10 black people, you go down the street, you say, hey, what's your nationality? He'll say black. He'll say African-American. He'll say, I'm from Ghana. He'll say, I'm Negro. He'll say, I'm colored. He'll say, I'm a Baptist. We are destroyed. Would you agree with that statement, Mr. Brian?
I got to agree with you, Dad. We're so fragmented right now. It's crazy.
Yep. And even in the places where they try to unite us, which is in politics or in religion, so on and so forth, we didn't do these things when you actually realize who we are as a people, because politics wasn't given to us. The religions that we follow today was not given to, they were given to us, but by our oppressors. We go way before white man Jesus and Sunday church and Christmas and Thanksgiving and July 4th. Our history precedes all of that. But let's show that first video. I'm showing you what they're doing today. All right, y'all got the wrong thing. Come on, IT.
Give it up for IT.
Yeah, come on, IT.
Clap your hands.
Give it up for the IT team.
5 brothers back there. We can't.
Come on now, dog.
Can't pull up the right video.
Come on, man.
Just look at the name of the article. Oklahoma Republican introduces bill. That's the video you're going to need to pull up. Come on, man. Y'all just be clicking on stuff. So while we getting that, Mr. Brian, what would you say your nationality is? What would you say?
Well,
now that he marked up all the ones that you could say. What you gonna say? Yeah, but what would you say? What would you say before you? Matter he didn't say that. What would you say?
I would still say Black American.
Okay.
You know, because I struggle with the term. I know I am of Africa.
You the lightest brother in here talking about you a Black American. The lightest brother in here talking about you Black.
You know, because it's you know, to determine where we get the term African American from. I know our people are, everyone's from Africa, and I love Africa.
Right.
But I think as you stated, our history in America goes back further than what they start with slavery, because our people were already here prior to slavery.
Right.
So I say Black American because you know, because, and then also on top of that, if someone who is white was born and raised in Africa, they can claim African American.
Right.
And a lot of them, from what I understand, I read this article before, there were white folks who were getting scholarships under African college scholarships as being labeled as African American. So that's why I prefer, and because of the labeling, that's why I prefer Black American. Though I realize and proud to be of the African diaspora.
Right. All praise. That's an excellent answer. Did y'all find the video yet? IT. Come on, IT. Come on now, dog. Come on.
Okay, until they can find it.
Come on, man.
Right.
But he got it? Okay.
I think they got it. All right, read. Who reading?
I got you.
All right.
Oklahoma Republican introduced bill to limit how slavery is taught in schools.
All right, slow down.
I know you're blinded by that light. I know you can't see.
Hey, Ozil, can you read it on your side?
The sun itself in your face. I know you can't see it.
Y'all might have to refresh the link so it plays the original video. Yeah. That's because it has a video. I want to watch. There.
Is that it right there?
Okay, there you go. All right, there we go. IT, come on, fellas. Y'all act like we don't do this every week.
We got guests in here.
Every week.
The guest was on time.
Oh yeah, and we apprate you. We appreciate you, Mr. Brian, for being on time. Because you know that's a proverb that Black people can't be on time.
The brother was 10 minutes early.
You showing that you ain't an African American.
One thing I've learned is you're on time if you're early. You're late if you're on time.
There you go. There you go. Gotta get that in bread. Go ahead. Pull up the visual though.
Balanced and in context.
State Representative Jim Olson talking to News 4 over the phone on Wednesday about this bill that he filed at the state capitol earlier this week.
Doesn't prohibit anybody from teaching that America had slavery, that it was evil, and that we're better for. It doesn't prohibit teaching that we're better for not having slavery.
But the bill does prohibit Oklahoma universities and school districts from teaching components of the 1619 Project, including any teaching that America has more culpability in general than other nations for the institution of slavery.
False.
That one race is the unique.
I said, so it says that one race is the unique. Why y'all take this? Come on, fellas. Don't take nothing off the screen.
We've been through this a couple of days ago. Come on, brothers.
All right. It says that one race is the unique oppressor in the institution of slavery. Now, when you go throughout the slave trade, now they all right. It wasn't just one nation. We agree with you 100% on that. And we're going to show you that scripturally. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. And let's read how many people had a hand in our slavery. Deuteronomy 28, let's read 68 and then go to 64.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
So the first thing, Mr. Brian, that we're going to show you, remember I said that our history predates what happened over here. The Bible is a history book. That's what a lot of people don't understand. And it actually outlines exactly what happened to us, what's currently happening to us, and what's going to happen to us. So when you read it with those eyes and with that context, it makes everything a lot simpler for us to understand. So we're going to show that what they're doing is prophesied in the Bible, and what happened to us is prophesied in the Bible. Read that.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So when you read this chapter, Mr. Brown, we're going to go all the way through, but Moses is speaking to the children of Israel, and he's telling you, if you don't keep the commandments that's given to you, I'm going to place curses on you. This is one of the curses that happened to us. Now read it again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's telling them, hey, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to send the whole nation into Egypt again. Read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now, what they were at right here, they were in Africa. You don't need a ship to go from Israel to Egypt. There's no ship. So what was he prophesying about? He was prophesying about the transatlantic slave trade, about us going into Egypt, which is what? Bondage, slavery. He said, I'm going to send you into slavery again with what?
With ships.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And he said, once you got to those lands, those different lands, Brazil, Haiti, Jamaica, America, Canada, Trinidad, Tobago, all these different places, you're going to be sold to your enemies. Read.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And what?
And no man shall buy you.
And nobody would buy you, meaning redeem you. Now jump to 64.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Now we just read how he was going to scatter us. How did he say he was going to scatter us, Mr. Brian?
From one end of the earth into the other.
Right. In 64, what was the means of transportation? Do you remember what we just read? He said he's going to take us into Egypt again with what?
Ships.
With ships. There you go. You following along. So he said he's going to scatter us from one end of the earth even unto the other. So all nations had a hand in what happened to the children of Israel. That's why whenever you go to Ancestry.com, he'll say, yeah, my last name is Polish. He'll say, yeah, my last name is German. My last name is European. My last name is Dutch. My last name is French. Because all the nations gathered together to oppress us. So they're right. It wasn't one unique oppressor. But we know that there was one unique victim. And that victim is the Israelites, according to the Bible. That's right. You got something on that?
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah, we making sure you're taking care of. Make sure you got something to drink if you want something to drink.
Thank you.
Hey, if y'all got something, y'all can bring it out.
Yeah, I want to just tap on future now. So the cap read something that we obviously understand how we were scattered, right, by ships. Now, this is a future prophecy, and the reason I want to bring this out is because a lot of our people, they think that this condition is going to be on us forever. All right, there's a lot of depression in our communities, right, because we understand how we've been beat down by oppression, right?
Right.
So let's get that in Isaiah 11 and verse 11 and 12. I know we're reading out of the Old Testament, but this is actually a future prophecy. All right.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left.
So that second time, because the first time was us coming up out of Egypt. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Which shall recover the remnant of his people from Assyria and from Egypt.
So all these places that's being named, we're still scattered there today.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea.
And from the islands of the sea, go ahead.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcast of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So that's showing you that when it's time for us to be gathered unto Christ, we're still going to be scattered in all those nations.
Right. Hey, go back to the video, and I want to hear what Mr. Bryan's his opinion on what our oppressors are doing with our history. Go back to the video, and go back like 10 seconds, and then press play. Yep, go ahead.
That one race is the unique oppressor in the institution of slavery, and that another race is the unique victim in the institution of slavery.
This is what they're saying we can't teach.
There are some that teach that the whole purpose in the founding of America was to initiate and perpetuate slavery. And, that's not true.
But some educators speaking out against the bill, like OU's chapter of the American Association of University Professors, writing on Twitter, "This is very disturbing," going on to say, "We have no intention of lying to our students or bowing to this assault on truth and academic freedom."
I specifically put in the text of the bill that they can teach we had slavery, that it was bad. So, no, they would not be required to lie.
Democrats at the Capitol, like Representative Forrest Bennett, calling the bill embarrassing and a waste of time.
I desperately wish that our legislature would do more with the immense power that we have to help people. This doesn't help people. It does nothing to further the conversation about race, and I think it's an important one to have. It also distracts from so many of the other issues that are facing Oklahoma today.
All right, so
better shut your white mouth.
What's your thoughts on what we just watched, dealing with the bill that's being passed down in Oklahoma?
Wow.
Yeah.
Where to start? There are far more worse things that we need bills passed on than, how slavery is taught. Number one, we still haven't passed an anti-lynching bill. So that needs to be passed immediately. But, that is something that's most important with our people being legally lynched in this country today. But I definitely don't particularly like it. I think it is a waste of, I think our resources or bill can be better suited elsewhere, such as that, or better or more of an economic impact for this country. Oklahoma gets a lot of tornadoes, so I'm pretty sure, and the tornado that just ran through the 3 states or 3 or 4 states, I'm pretty sure, home or insurance help is needed. Put the resources somewhere else. Slavery wasn't just bad; it was messed up.
Right.
And you have to tell the truth where it is. And from what I understand, American chattel slavery was the worst of any kind in the history of the world.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can't put slavery as a whole on any one race, because every race, particularly, did. And every race did have slave masters, and I do understand they have slavery in Africa still going on right now to this day. But when we talk about American slavery, America as a whole benefited from the labor and from the sweat and the labor on the backs of our ancestors, and through force.
Right.
So it really wasn't, to their. It really was against their will. They weren't paid for it. We weren't, paid for it, because they're still going through it now. They just changed the way in which slavery is done. They put it in the 13th Amendment. So slavery is actually still happening, which is why, a lot of our people are over-policed.
Right.
The jail system is full of our people, so they can, in my eyes, legally enslave us in the matter. So to bring it all to, I know I'm talking too much.
No, you fine. You fine.
No,
we brought
right
you
now.
on.
What's going on right now? You see, brother, flipping everything you're saying. Brother can go to the Bible and point out exactly what you're talking about with the jail system and the oppression and what they're doing. Scripturally, it's in there. That's the interesting thing. That's from our standpoint, seeing your response. Our people don't understand that everything that we go through has been written in the Bible, but there's a way to get out of that in the Bible, but we refuse to look at it.
Right. And to bring it up, and let me also add this critical race theory. I know they've been talking about critical race theory being taught.
Yeah, the scientists he said he want to cut it out in schools. Can't do it.
It should be taught in schools, because critical race theory gets taught at home.
Right.
And the thing at home, it has to be true. You're not sure about what someone else is being taught at home. So at least here you have a standard in school. You have a standardized version of what can be taught better in school. And yes, and I've had this conversation with friends. So yes, I know there were black slave owners. I get that. But you also have to take into effect that a lot of those may have been slave owners to buy their own family up out of slavery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had to go through their ways of of doing what they could for their family to get them up out of in that regard. But yes, white folks, racist white folks. I don't want to put all white folks in the same thing, but yes, the racist system did benefit from slavery, and you have to tell it the way it is. You know, there's no way to sugarcoat it. And I know the thing with critical race theory, it's not about making white folks feel bad about what happened. It's just telling the honest truth.
Right.
And sometimes the truth hurts. You know, and yes, I do understand for those that say, but I'm not responsible. I didn't put y'all in slavery. No, but you know, you do benefit from the outcome of what slavery helped produce with all the foundations and you know the money system, the buildings that were built, the schools that were built. You know what I'm saying, and so forth. So I don't like what that bill you know does. You know, there's no nice way to teach slavery.
Right.
It was bad. You know, people was getting whipped, we was getting hanged, and you know we was getting shot if we rebelled against couldn't hit the slave master back. If we did, we died.
Yep.
You know, so you know it's like you know if you ran and tried to get your freedom, you know you got caught. You got branded with the letter R in some states for being a runaway. You know, so it's and plus all that stuff gets passed down in our DNA, and they've shown that where you know a trauma can be passed down from you know one generation to another.
Right. So you said a lot. We're gonna deal with a few of those. I know Kim, you got a few scriptures ready. I just want to touch the fact that because you said there's other bills that can be enacted. You gave some great ones. So of course, you know, you deal with the natural disasters that need money for that. I was just thinking, you know, slavery been around we've been emancipated since 1865, 2021, about to be 2022. COVID came and gone. We don't got 3 stimulus checks quick. When are they gonna pass a bill to give us reparations? Because they was able to give us a COVID check really fast when it affected everybody. Right. But when it was that unique victim, like they say it wasn't, which it was one unique victim. Right. They weren't able to make nothing move because it's not going to be beneficial to them. All right. Damn. So what you got first? What you want to attack first, Officer Kimmy? It was a lot.
Well, it is a lot, and the way Mr. Bryan put it so eloquently, how we've been victimized through slavery, right? I just want to read something and ask, does this sound like something that our forefathers went through in slavery? Get Matthew 27. I want you to read 28 through 31.
Matthew 27.
27, start at verse 28.
All right, Matthew chapter 27, verse 28. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And they spit upon him.
And they did what?
They spit upon him.
Didn't that happen to our forefathers, foremothers? Plenty of times, right?
Plenty of times, yeah.
Go ahead.
And took the reed and smote him on the head.
And then smacked him upside the head. That we not suffered that type of abuse. We see it, we read about it. We see it in the history books, the movies that they've shown us. Go ahead.
And after that, they had mocked him and took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to crucify him.
To hang him. Who does this sound like this happened to?
A black man.
Right, but yet,
like a black guy.
So now I'm gonna follow it up with a question. But yet, with all of that, we'll get a white image of Christ that you can't find anywhere in the Bible, which leads to this. With all this truth that our people know and how we suffer from oppression, when a white man kills us, why are we forgiving before he's even in handcuffs?
That's what we do.
That's Stockholm syndrome. That's the true definition of Stockholm syndrome.
So I want to deal with what he said about the prison system, which he said first he said there's no anti-lynching bill. They still haven't did that yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
They still haven't dealt with that. They still haven't erased the 13th Amendment to get slavery out of there. Because if you haven't watched that movie, that was a beautiful movie the sister did that shows that process of how that works. When you look up Jim Crow laws, when you look at all these different things, they put it in the laws. They took it from just being outwardly, and they put it in the law system. I want to show you something. Go to Psalms chapter 94 and verse 20, because you are 100% correct. They found different ways to do it. And guess what? It's still around today. The reason, I was just speaking with a brother last week, and he was telling me about when you're in the gang lifestyle and you get arrested, and when you get out, you go back, they put you right back in your neighborhood. If you even get pulled over, it's a violation of your parole, and you go right back to prison. Wow. If you just get pulled over, you ain't got to be speeding, you ain't got to be doing nothing. If you're in a car with somebody that's gang affiliated, 10 years minimum. So when they send our people back into their communities, they can't even live a normal lifestyle with the people that they grew up with. You basically got to be a shell of yourself. And if you try to live your normal life, they got systems set up in place. You going right back over and over again. Read that, Psalms 94 and 20.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Right. Shall the throne of iniquity, sin, have fellowship with thee? Read.
Which frameth mischief.
Which does what?
Frameth mischief.
Which frameth mischief. Read. By what?
By a law.
By a law. They create all of these different methods and policies to oppress our people by law. I spoke earlier about one that was very, very detrimental to our people. When you look at the demise of the black family, what can you go to? You go to what time period was that when they implemented WIC and all that?
1960s.
1960s. What did they say? They said you can get government assistance, but they will not give it if there's a man in the household. That's how they frame mischief.
So if the prize, if the real prize ain't in the household,
there you go.
You ain't getting. There's no benefit for you.
The household is decayed. The household is decayed. So they frame mischief by law. Let's read more about that. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah, chapter 51. I think it is. I want Oh, is it 42 and 22? Robbed and spoiled.
42. Hid in prison? Oh, no,
Yep.
42.
Yep. That's what I want.
All right.
Because instead of attacking all these different things, why don't they attack all the cases where our brothers and sisters have no evidence against them? Every day you see a new article where another brother is released after 60 years of doing time for a crime, and he's acquitted of. They had no evidence. Right. They had nothing on it. They corroborated the whole story. Oh, after 60 years, we're going to let him go.
So what you're saying is he might look like Lahad, but then they arrest Brian.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Because he's black. Hey, you got 60 years. Guilty. Just like that.
We got a caller.
Hey, Shalom caller. What's your name, question, or comment, and where you calling from?
How you doing? My name is Sheen. I'm calling from New York. And my question is, we see what's going on. We see what's going on all around, like, the country, right? Right. And the scripture says a divided house can't stand.
Right.
But at the same time, we still need to get from this country. So my question is, how do we discern what to get if a divided house can't stand? If that makes sense.
Yeah. I get your question. Go to 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 31. So as you know, if you're calling in, I would imagine you know you're Israel, right?
Yes.
Okay. So while we're in our captivity, we got to be able to buy time and know how to navigate here in America. Read that. 1 Corinthians 7 and 31.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. And
Bring
they that use this world.
And they that use this world, meaning what? You got job, you got television, you got a house, you got real estate, you got financial, you got banks, all these different things that these institutions that are set up that we know we need to use here in America, you use it. Read.
As not abusing it.
As what?
As not abusing it.
Meaning you don't let anything that's taking place today that's temporal, meaning it's not going to be here forever. You don't let that reign over you to the point where you're in the midst of sin. For example, if you're seeking financial gain, you don't let that financial gain have you what? Breaking the Sabbath. Now you're committing adultery. Now you become a drug dealer, so on and so forth. You're doing things that's opposite of what God's laws say. Read.
For the fashion of this world passeth away.
Right. That's why it says, what does a man profit if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? So that's the answer. While you're here in America, you buy your time and you use this world as not abusing it, meaning you're able to keep the commandments and still make moves while you're in captivity. You understand that, brother?
Yeah, I definitely understand, because another thing, I was, as we all know, the meek shall basically possess the earth. and I don't know why, for some reason, I was reading it this month,
Right.
and I just been meditating on that, like just be weak, and like I always go to the dictionary, and I always say, what is the what is the qualities of being weak?
Right.
So it definitely goes hand in hand with what you're saying.
All praise, all praise. Well, I'm glad we could answer your question.
Thank you.
All right.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom. So go back to that in Isaiah. Because I wanted to deal with the prison system and how it's set up and how our people are being afflicted by that. Meanwhile, we passing bills to taper of how you can teach slavery, which makes no sense. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22.
Bring it
But
out.
this is a people.
But this is a people. Remember, the bill said you can't say that you have a unique victim. Well, that's not scripturally. We're going to teach the Bible, thus saith the Lord. This is a people. Not all people. It's talking about the Israelites. Read.
Robbed and spoiled.
Because when you look at the numbers, dominantly, who dominates the prison system? We do. Hispanics and blacks.
And that's all over the world.
All over the world, the same numbers. I don't know how many prison shows we did, but it's the same numbers over and over again. This is a people robbed and spoiled. Read.
They are all of them snared in holes.
They are snared in holes. You got the random traffic stops. You got the over policing in our communities. You got the brothers and sisters drugs being planted on them. You got the police killings. All these different things that happen. Read. They're snared in holes.
You're gonna have the new abortion pill.
Yep.
Right.
You heard about that?
Right. Yep.
No,
They're gonna be mailing
they mail it now.
a contraceptive.
Yeah.
In the mail. It's the birth control pill.
Wait a
They're
minute.
gonna put them in the mail now.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yep. We went over that on Friday. Read.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Hold on. Where are people hid at?
They are hid in prison houses.
We are hid in prison houses. That's why every black man he can go throughout 3 generations. I guarantee you he can name somebody that's been in prison. Uncle, auntie, cousin, father, mother, somebody in his family has been affected by the prison system. Read it again.
They are hid in prison houses.
Read.
They are for a prey.
They are what?
They are for a prey.
They are for a prey. That's why they call it what? Where do we live at? They call it the trap. Because when you live in a trap, you are the prey. You are the prey. And that's what God's letting us know. He's opening our eyes so we can see clearly of what we're dealing with. Read.
And none deliver it.
And nobody delivers. Because like my brother just said, they'll rather spend time to draw up a bill to do what? To teach you how to deal with slavery. Instead of drawing up bills to give our people money, to make sure our people can do certain things when they get out of prison. Right. How about we give them $4,000 so they can start a business or something like that? If you went to jail for being a drug dealer, obviously you have some business sense. All right. Let's give him some money and make sure he starts a business. Let's give him 20 different businesses that he can choose from to start. Because guess what? When the Europeans came over here, they got $10,000 to get a business started. They got all the
land.
They didn't have to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. But when it's the black man, you can't even get a job. If it wasn't for COVID-19, fellas wouldn't be working like they're working right now. COVID-19, hey, brothers that's in prison, boy, y'all better be happy. Shoot, anybody can get a job now. They ain't hiring. Go ahead, Brian. You had something on that?
No, I didn't have it. I'm just listening, brother.
All right, you good. So let's go to the pull up the CRT with what DeSantis said, the Stop Woke Act. She's crazy.
And if you recognize something, Brian, when we read these scriptures, it's all from one perspective. This Bible is not written for everybody. That's why you hear a lot of possessive pronouns. Right.
Let's
God's
prove that real
people.
quick. Let's show that just to make sure you understand it. Go to Psalms 147 in verse 19. One thing that's different about, I won't say our perspective, about when you actually know the Bible is that he's only speaking to one group of people. This Bible is not for everybody on the face of the earth. That's what a lot of people have failed to understand when they read it, and that's why a lot of people are confused about the Bible because they're reading it from a inclusive mindset when that's not how it's written.
Let me just see real quick. This is the same point. And go back to Isaiah 42.
Yep.
And 22. Just to back up what Officer Kenny was saying, Captain Ocean is going to show even more. I'm going to keep it in the same context, Brian. Read verse 23.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 23.
This is the verse right after the prison houses are being spoiled. Read that.
Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
24.
24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers?
Brian.
Yep.
It's talking about Israel.
Yep.
The next two verses down, it's talking about Jacob, who's the father of the 12 tribes, and it goes again, it says again, for a spoil and Israel to robbers.
Right.
So what he's saying is 100% true. The Bible is really written by one group of people for a certain group of people. I just want to show you that in the context of the same chapter of what the comment that the captain said.
Yep. Read that. Psalm 147.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19.
Bring it
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
So the word was showed unto Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
He showed his statutes and his judgments unto us when? On Mount Sinai. Read.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
Hold on. Read that again.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
He has not dealt with any other nation on the face of the earth the way he dealt with us.
So every nation has been spoiled in prison houses and robbed. So that's scripture. You can't put that towards the Chinese man, the Arab man, the Japanese man. You can't put that towards them.
No, you can't.
Nope. And as for his judgments.
As for his judgments, which is why I said earlier, there is a unique victim, because we are the only people on the face of the earth that were taken from one side of the earth, put on slave ships, and transported to all nations upon the face of the earth for hundreds of years. Show me another nationality of people that can lay claim to that. I'll give you $1 million tonight. Show me that. Show me that. And guess
loan me some.
Hey. That's my open challenge. Show me somebody being placed on slave ships and scattered for hundreds of years, because it started in 1619 and ended supposedly in 1865. Even though you got the slave ship Clotilda that was still coming over here in the late 1800s. So that's why when you read these scriptures, you got to know who it's talking about, and it's talking about Israel. Read that again.
That's right.
Last whole verse.
Yep. 19.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Read.
He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
The other nations have not been judged by the Most High God yet. They have not. That's why they haven't been on the slave ships. That's why they haven't been raped, robbed, and murdered. They haven't been lynched by the thousands. They haven't been murdered by the millions. Did you know there was 77 million natives that died from when the Americans got here? Did you know that, Brother Brian?
I didn't know the exact number. No.
Over 77 million. There was 500 nations. There's a book called 500 Nations. There was over 500 nations of Native Americans from Canada to South America that was on this land. And now they live on a plot known as a reservation. Which is a trap house.
Those that are left.
Right, those that are even left.
So they didn't sell Manhattan for some beans and some beads?
No, it got pillaged. It got taken from them.
That's actually a theory that's when I was in
no, they taught me that too. Yeah, they traded.
Taught us that. What kind of sense would that make? Right. To give all this land up?
I'm gonna give you all my land for them pretty little beads right there.
Hey, and 100 million, another 100 million went to Brazil.
Yep.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And they all spoiled today. All of them. So it says, as for his judgments, they have not known them. Now, let's pull up the video on our lovely governor, DeSantis, who is I appreciate DeSantis, because DeSantis don't want to shut nothing down.
Right. Right.
You ain't gotta get no shot. Leave everything open.
You keep everything open. All right. Let's see, can y'all find the video? Should be a video attached to it.
Put your head down. What, did you vote for him? Look like you voted for DeSantis.
No, I didn't.
So what do you know about you know about this, what we about to play?
No, I don't, but it does sound crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was when I was listening to it, I was like, this is pretty interesting. So, but that's the mindset of our people. Now, you said something earlier, and I know you're a radio host, and y'all governed by a different set of standards. But now you said something earlier that all white people aren't racist. Now, when you go to the Bible, that is indeed not true. All of them are in one mind and in one spirit. And we're going to show you that scripturally. All right, let's go to Isaiah 14. Because even though all of them may not have shot us, may not have hung us, may not have murdered us, they didn't stop it from happening. And like you stated so eloquently earlier, they all reap the benefits of what happened. Nobody ever gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna give all this property back."
Exactly.
That I got. Right. I'm gonna give all this equity from all these homes and business. Right. I'm gonna give it all back because I'm not racist. Right. I haven't seen it yet.
Karen hasn't given her land back yet?
Nah, they leave all their billions of dollars to dogs and charity foundations, but won't give it to the black man. You can guarantee that.
Never seen the white protest yet.
The what?
I've never seen a white protest yet for the black people.
Nah.
And they're not flooding the streets saying we did them wrong.
No.
Not at all.
All lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yeah, black lives matter. They joined it.
Go to Isaiah 14 and read verse 21.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21.
Bring it out.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
So when you read this chapter, he's going into Babylon. And he's going into their ancestors right here. He's saying, hey, for what they did, the others that come up under them are going to be destroyed for what their forefathers did because they're the same people. Read it again.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
Prepare slaughter for his children. For what?
For the iniquity of their fathers.
For what?
For the iniquity of their fathers.
So God says, hey, I don't give a damn if you did it or your father did it. You're going to pay the punishment for the crime that was done. Because guess what? I wasn't worshiping, at least I don't think I was worshiping idols and doing all the stuff that caused us to be born here in America. We are living proof that God is going to punish the ancestors. He dealt with them at a time, but he's going to deal with the ancestors as well. And we are the same people. So read that again.
Prepare slaughter for the children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
So all of them are going to be destroyed for what their forefathers did and for what they continue to do to this day. Because what we see, ain't nothing changed. We see and they still passing bills and laws to keep us oppressed. They still not standing up. He didn't take his knee off George Floyd's neck after 9 minutes. And the other brothers around him sat there and watched. They watched it happen. That mindset is still, those are just the small, minute places where you can see it. Go ahead.
You can see the reason why Mosa has this, because they can easily turn it back over and they're not going to do it. Right. Everybody knows the story of what happened to the, it's a mockery for me to say Native American Indians.
Right.
But they can easily say, you know what, we did wrong. We know we did wrong. We believe y'all are men just like us. We're gonna turn everything back over, and y'all can run things, and everything will be fair. They're not doing. They won't ever.
You don't remember? They
won't ever do that.
They did give us reparations. You don't remember?
Oh, what the Obama phone?
Barack Obama phone. You don't remember that? They said it.
The food stamp president.
Barack Obama was our reparations. You don't remember that?
This is America.
And stamps.
Y'all got that video?
So if they truly wasn't racist, and they also, you know what, we know what we did wrong. It's one nation under God, right?
Yeah.
We have a judicial system which comes from the Jew system. Right. Let's recompense everything that we took. They don't do it because it's not in them to really be racist. Means, you know what this means, for your race. So it's not in them to be not just for their race. Right. It doesn't happen.
As you should be though. Ain't nothing wrong with loving your people. The problem is, when white people love their own people, it's fine. When black people love their own people, it's a hate crime.
Don't teach it. Don't teach it. Don't teach it. Don't talk about it.
If you love your own people as a white person, you're American, you're proud, you have heritage. Right. When black people say, I love black people, hey, whoa, you in a hate group. You in a hate group, brother. Like, what are you talking about?
I think that's because people confuse pro-black with anti-white.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Me being, me or any of us or what have you, or any black man or any black woman that is pro-black doesn't mean that they're anti-white. It's just that we have a love for our people.
There you go.
That, surpasses anything else.
Yep. There you go. Now, you hit it on the head 100%. Pro-black does not mean anti-white. It doesn't. But you be damn trying to tell the white man that. He ain't listening to
That's what happened in Tulsa. They weren't doing nothing to white people. They were they had, let's get our banks, let's get our airports, our barbershops. Right. We not bothering y'all. So why did they bomb that thing?
Yep. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna prove what we just said. Go to Psalms 58 in verse 3. This is the mindset of our oppressors, and this is why every last one of them gonna go into captivity.
Even Joel Osteen?
Even Joel Osteen. Go to Psalms 58 in verse 3.
Brian is like, wow, what did you say? I can't believe he's saying this.
Read that. This is what happens when you try to convince somebody, namely our oppressors, when you try to convince them that I just love my people, I don't hate you. This is what happens. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
So the wicked, when you read the Bible, Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Mr. Brian, who runs the earth today? What nationality people usually have control of power of most institutions on the earth?
Well, usually, and I'm being... Let me make sure I have to say this in a way of a manner that won't.
Fine.
No, but yeah, we do understand that white folks control most of the countries, and if not all of the countries, and the money.
Yep, all of it. It's so bad that in Africa, the most resourceful nation on the face of the earth, gold, tin, all these different things that you need for cell phones and so on and so forth. They gotta go to America to say, "Hey, how much is my money worth?" If Africa wanted to set up their own monetary system, they would destroy all nations because everybody goes to Africa for everything. You got to go there for rubber. You got to go there for chocolate. You got to go there for gold. You got to go there for silver. All these different items. Meanwhile, the white man is in control of how much your money is worth. Now, that's good to know, but the IMF, we say, hey, nah, your dollars is worth pennies to ours. They have no say-so in that. So, the white man is the wicked. So let's see what the Bible says about the wicked.
Would say the most wicked. Because, I mean, the facts is sub-Saharan slave trade. That was the Arabs.
Yep, there you go.
Tang Dynasty, you know that history. Yep. That was when the Chinese had us in slavery. Yep. When you look at it, keep it real, of what goes on with us today, in these Arab little shops, these Chinese shops, it's like all nations are making sure that we are confederate against them.
There you go.
They still, Russia fights against America and China and South Korea, but they're in agreement with saying, you know what, we got to make sure those blacks and those Hispanics stay at the level that they're at. Yep. We can still do our fighting amongst each other, but make sure these people right here, they never come up till they can get in the fight to be in some real control.
Yep, there you go. Read that.
Psalms chapter 58, verse 3.
So back to the original point, what we're saying is that you can't convince the other nations that black love is not anti-white. Read that.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
This man speaks more lies than anybody else on the face of the earth. I'm going to tell you the biggest lie that our oppressor has ever taught us. They said that the most famous man on the face of the earth is a white man. They changed the color of Jesus Christ himself. Now, Bishop said this. If they willing to lie on the image of Jesus to the whole world, how much more are they willing to lie on us? Right. And lie to us.
And when you can read right in the Bible that they have everywhere,
he's a black man.
That is not that. They will still portray it and lie of that nature. Now, that's another thing, Brian, where we are like in a position where we're saying, oh, let's get arms and let's do this against the white man. No, we're just telling the truth. Because the people that go out and they get arms like that, what was that? Was it NFT? What was that guy?
Yeah.
That was dumb as hell.
No.
Trying to get guns. The Bible, that's unbiblical. The Bible tells us it's not our power to do that. The Most High God can do whatever he want to do. Like the hurricanes you've seen,
right?
He'll tear up whatever he wants to tear up. He don't need us to do that. Right. He'll tear it up. So we don't have a position of we're violent towards anybody.
Nope.
That's unbiblical. We're just pointing the facts out, showing who is who and what is what in real time. That's today.
Right. You know, it's interesting, and before we get to that video, those tornadoes, right? One was like 165-mile path. The other one's like 122. Now, I used to live up in the tornado belt, and in all my years, I've never heard of anything close to that. Can you imagine, like, it was for a half mile.
Yeah, that's a long ride.
For a half mile wide, 165 miles long. Just tearing everything up in the way.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
We don't have power. What your guns gonna do? How can you even compare
whatever God want to do, man,
to a guy that could just say, you know what, today I'm gonna rip up 4 states.
Can't fight against it. And that's why we're not taking up arms. I mean, we not getting guns. We ain't got to do nothing. I'm gonna do the same thing Moses did. Hey, let my people go. All right, cool. You don't want to? All right.
See what happens.
We'll just sit back. We'll sit back, and when the water's dried up, and when there's darkness, and when there's no electricity, and China's sending bombs that's at hypersonic speeds that you can't defend yourself, then hey, so be it. But read that verse 4. As soon as they be born, they are speaking lies. Read.
My bad.
You good? You good?
Psalms 58 and 4?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder.
They are what?
They are like the deaf adder.
Now, God's given us an attribute of of our oppressors, of the so-called Caucasian man. It says they are like the deaf adder. That's why us protesting, us marching for hundreds of years, it don't do nothing to them.
Trying to hear that.
They don't hear that. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. Oh, he don't hear that.
Nope.
All he see is dollar signs. He's like, oh snap, they protesting. Hey, who can we get out there to sell some shoes to him? That's what the white man rolls on. He don't care about our feelings. He don't care about our emotions. The Bible calls him a deaf adder, which is why since we've been in here in America, we still in the same conditions. You go across America, you go to Baltimore, you go to D.C., you go to L.A., you go to Oklahoma, you go to Florida. Who are you finding in the ghettos and slums in these locations? It's us. It's our people. So what has our protesting changed? Nothing. Because God put us in the situation that we're in, and the only way we're getting out is by God. Go ahead. You had something? Okay. Play the video. Y'all got it?
Florida's public schools could soon be sued if they attempt to teach critical race theory, which so far none of them has. Governor DeSantis today unveiled proposed legislation called the Stop Woke Act that would make that course of study illegal. It would also prevent corporations from teaching CRT to employees. As News4Jax reporter Ann Maxwell tells us, this would strengthen.
It's just crazy that he actually calls it the Stop Woke Act. Right. That's crazy because you know when they say when you become conscious, you woke. They telling you, Negro, we don't want you to wake up. We do not want you to wake up. Stay asleep. That's what they telling you. Go ahead, Brian. You had something on that?
Yeah. Because he just said stop companies from teaching critical race theory at their job.
Mm-hmm.
But what companies are doing is, and I notice a lot of companies, I think the company I work for does that as well, is that they want to make sure that people are culturally.
Right. What do they call it? Sensitivity training and stuff.
Cultural sensitivity training. So I'm like, okay, that means you stop that because part of the reason I think the world is in chaos is because we don't have a basic understanding of each other's culture.
Right.
And some things that might mean, like being from New York, we have a large Italian population.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm saying this with all love to my Italian people out there, of course. The way an Italian,
even though they don't love you, brother, let you know.
the way that someone who's Italian might speak in love or adoration to somebody is completely different than someone from another race or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're from New York, New York love, or specifically New York love. You know what I'm saying? Being from New York, there's a way that a New Yorker speaks with love to another New Yorker that a lot of people might deem offensive if you're not from there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people deem us being loud and boisterous or what have you. It's like, yo, you can't call nobody? You got a problem? You know what I'm saying? Whereas just like, someone else is like, well, what's his problem?
Right.
Like to us, that's just normal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think he's wilding.
Yeah. Go ahead, play the video.
An existing band. She's joining us now live. And
Mary, Tom, it was back in June when the State Board of Education banned the teaching of critical race theory in Florida's public K-12 schools. CRT, as it's also known, focuses on how racism still affects our country's educational, legal, and political systems. Local school districts tell News4Jax they've never taught CRT, which is a graduate level course of study. Governor DeSantis says the Stop the Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees Act will be the strongest legislation of its kind.
We have an ability to just draw a line in the sand and say that's not the type of society that we want.
The proposal would put the Florida Department of Education's prohibition on teaching critical race theory in schools into law, prohibit school districts, colleges, and universities from hiring CRT consultants, and allow parents, employees, and students to sue to enforce the law and collect attorney's fees if the court sides with them.
So I think that gives parents the ability to go in and ensure that our state standards are being followed.
Democrats are calling the proposal a distraction.
I feel that we actually should be focusing on real issues like passing a people-centered budget.
Governor DeSantis says the proposal will be introduced in the upcoming legislative session.
It could possibly pass, but if the people come together and push back on this, if we're making phone calls and we're sending emails, we may be able to stop this ridiculous bill that they're talking about crafting.
The Florida Education Association, which touts itself as representing more than 150,000 educators, released a statement about the act. It reads in part, teachers should have the freedom to teach honest, complete facts about historical events like slavery and civil rights without being censored by politicians. The governor's announcement today goes against this fundamental American value.
All right. So what we're seeing, the first article, this is funny how this worked out. The first one, talking about a bill, taking our history out of the books. The second one, they want to stop you from even waking up. They say, stay asleep. Stay asleep, literally. Don't teach
Use the word woke.
Right. Stop woke act. So we'll show you something real quick. Let's go to, I think it's Ephesians. I want where it says, rise up them that sleep. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Hey, while you got that, can I get some?
Yep. Yeah,
Hey.
Ephesians 5:14. That's
All
what
right,
it
go
is.
ahead.
Yeah, read that real quick. Ephesians 5:14. Because you got to ask yourself, who is this targeting? Who is this targeting? We all know who it's targeting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's our history they don't want to be taught. They ain't saying don't teach July 4th, 1776. They ain't saying, hey, don't teach about the Declaration of Independence. That's offensive.
They ain't saying don't teach the Holocaust.
Right. They ain't saying
gonna make sure about
They ain't
that.
saying that.
Right.
It's only when it comes to our history and it being taught in a perspective that will uplift our people.
Right.
Now it's a problem. Now it is a problem. They had no problem with Martin Luther King for 50-something years, and they still don't teach Malcolm X. They don't teach Marcus Garvey. But any inkling of making them feel guilty for what they did, it got to go.
I'm gonna make this comment
Yep,
too
go
for Brian. Not to our own horn, but these brothers know the reason the target of that is for the Israelites.
Yep.
Bruh, we going all around the world teaching the true history. The reason why you're not teaching Marcus Garvey no more in MLK, because we bring out understanding of
right.
I don't know if you know this history. MLK said to Harry Belafonte before he died, he fears he's integrating with a burning house.
Yep.
Malcolm and Martin were starting to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Malcolm was breaking away from the from Islam.
Yep.
They said, man, if these two guys,
Yep.
nothing about MLK. Let's say he was waking up to who he was. MLK understood. What's the only thing that really worked? If you can remember, that he did. What's the only thing that really worked that made them move?
Like the nonviolent, doing the nonviolence.
Not because they were still beating the hell out of us, shooting us with water hoses. What worked? When I say it, you're gonna realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scriptural.
So yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what worked. Remember this. Remember the bus boycotts?
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Money.
actually
Yeah.
worked.
Yep.
So MLK went, so you know what? The boycotting worked. The Bible says, keep the Sabbath. How about we all not buy nothing every Saturday? We stop celebrating Christmas. Economy is gonna close down. They had to get rid of MLK. They had to get rid of him because he was starting to wake up to realize, okay, I'm a preacher, but am I really reading what's going on in his Bible? Right. Nat Turner, what he realized? That the Bible was actually talking about us. They gave him that spot to put us to sleep. Nat Turner said, you know what? This is talking about us. Slave uprising. Here's the thing again. if Nat Turner would have understood that, God said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Us taking up arms, it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. The Most High God can bring a tornado, hurricane, whatever, to tear stuff up, and we'll be left. Well, Kentucky, a lot of our folks didn't get touched in that.
Yep.
Not saying it's good that those folks died, but a lot of blacks and Hispanics did not die in those tornadoes. The what's the big ship? The big ship, the Titanic.
Yeah.
What they say? Not even God gonna sink this ship.
Right.
What happened?
Right.
Iceberg
Right.
out of nowhere. Boom.
Right.
God is not to be played with. God is not to be played with.
There you go. There you go. Read that scripture.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest.
What did he say?
Awake, thou that sleepest.
The people that are asleep is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the only people. We are the only people still walking around with our pants below our waist, selling drugs to one another, rapping and singing about the destruction of our own people, sleeping with woman to woman to woman, not taking care of our children. The woman, the woman sleep with any man that comes to them and ain't worrying about no consequences with birth control. We can do a whole show on the state of our people.
I'm glad you said that. Which goes to the point, you might be saying, well, why ain't God ain't helping them? Because of what he said right there. We're not keeping the commandment. God said, I'm only going to help y'all if y'all live the way I told y'all to live, which is keeping the commandments.
Right. We are the only people on the face of the earth that worship a God that does not look like us. If there's anybody on the face of the earth that is asleep, it's the Israelites. It's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native
Hey,
Americans.
bro, you remember good times? She had white Jesus on the wall.
And then black Jesus came.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Growing up, what's the 3 pictures you gonna see in a black family household?
I know what I saw in mine.
You're gonna see Jesus Christ. You're going to see Martin Luther King, and you're going to see John F. Kennedy.
You mentioned that because I remember they had the Black Jesus episode.
Uh-huh.
And they hung on the wall.
Right.
Not my Jesus.
And she put that thing in the closet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's our people. That's our people. So read that scripture again.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14.
Bring it out.
Wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest.
Awake, thou that sleepest. Read.
And arise from the dead.
Who's dead? We're dead. We're spiritually dead. Malcolm X had a wonderful speech speaking about the state of our people and how we are spiritually dead. If you want to know the state of a people, listen to that music. Listen to that music.
Hey, the Valley of Dry Bones.
Right.
He wasn't reading from the Quran.
Right.
That's why they got rid of him. He said, "Where them dry bones?"
Yep, there you go. We are the ones that are asleep. So when it's saying stop woke, they're literally telling you in the legislation, black people do not wake up. Stay your ass asleep. What it's saying? What's the name of the book? The Willie Lynch letter. It says that the black woman is what, a good source of economics.
Economics.
A good source of economics.
Absolutely.
When the black woman is detached
Absolutely.
from the black man. That's why they're saying don't wake up. Because if the black man wake up, then he gonna take his house back over. Then we can't access that black woman who's gonna spend all her money on white European hair,
Right.
Michael
There it is right
Jordans,
there.
and Louis Vuitton.
Bring it out.
That only benefits what? Did that benefit our people? Nope. Absolutely not.
All the other nations.
Nope. Go ahead.
A couple of things. We covering so much, and we can, all praises to the Most High, be able to go and extract these things out. But I want to show you something that Cap just said. Get Jeremiah 2:14. Why are we in this condition? Why do we continually stay in this condition? Bring it out. Early in our history, the Lord said, I know then that this is a stiff-necked people. Like, we just hard-headed. We gluttons for punishment. Let's read that.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel a servant?
So now, are we just perpetually to be in slavery, serving other nations? Go ahead.
Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Why is he spoiled? So that's a question we should be asking ourselves. Why are we perpetually in this condition? Let's jump up to verse 13.
Because we're doing crate challenges.
Yeah, let's go to verse 13.
Verse 13. For my people.
Wait a minute. What does that say?
For my people.
We're reading out of the Holy Bible, and we're reading words like my people. Go ahead.
Have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me.
What does the Lord say?
They have forsaken me.
So remember we read, are we a homeborn slave? Right. Like, why are we always on the bottom, right? What did he say?
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
The fountain of living waters. Go ahead.
And hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
That's when we go and we try to integrate, and we try to think that, you know, voting is going to save us, and politics and religion is going to save us. God said, "You forsaken me," and He said that's a great evil. Now I want to show you something else. Go to Matthew right quick, 17:24. We just showed Friday night. One of the pastors, mega pastor, like $770 million in the bank. So now he's got a $7 million spread that he should be paying $150,000 a year in taxes, right? So what he says is, no, this house is part of the church, basically. Okay, to get out of paying taxes. Now we know the rich that can afford attorneys and accountants can find loopholes, right? To pay less taxes than working brothers like we, right? That's factual. Let's read that in the Bible.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 24. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money,
tribute is taxes. Okay, go ahead.
Came to Peter and said, "Do it not your master pay tribute?"
Does Christ? Does he pay taxes? Go ahead.
He said, "Yes." And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, "What thinkest thou, Simon?"
So now Christ is asking Simon Peter, "What do you think?" Go ahead.
"Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute?"
Who should be paying taxes? Go ahead.
"Of their own children?"
Do they tax their own people?
"Or of strangers?"
Or do they tax strangers? Because that's who we are. When we are estranged from our homeland, we are estranged from our identity, and we're considered strangers to them. Go ahead.
Peter said unto him, "Of strangers."
So Peter's acknowledging they tax strangers. Go ahead.
Jesus saith unto him, "Then are the children free."
So are the children free? Are the children of Israel free when we're under tax burdens? And then you've got people that make by themselves more than your whole family line.
Right.
They ain't paying no taxes.
Damn. Hey, let's take a quick commercial break. We're gonna show that music video real fast, and then we're gonna come back. Let me see. I posted the music video. Play that Bad Mon music commercial, and then we'll be right back on the Lion's Den radio show.
What you think?
I'm not a bad individual. I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Drop that old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life. He saved my life. Hey. Flip through the scripts and see diamonds and pearls. Wickedness, I just leave that for the journal. Came in it up in the slide on my jewels in other cities. I found a brand new way of life. Never alone, even though nobody with me. I got my God, He saved my life. Why you in my way? Kingdom on the line, I cannot play. No, not today. Okay. I'm not a bad individual. I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Drop that old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life.
I had to get the right living the sinner life. Could have went wrong. I done fell plenty times, but I'm in a fight. Still holding on. You need to decide if you really on this side. Then move along. And this is the end signs. Yeah, this is the end. Don't leave me alone. My father gave me the recipe. Day to day, I see that Satan be vesting me. I had to become a better me. Walking different, had to switch up the energy. Wishing death upon the enemy, son of perdition ain't who he pretend to be. Now I'm steady learning lessons, searching out the blessings that Moses has said to me.
For a while I was wild and the old man inside me had my vision blinded. Searching to find it, had to change up.
Could've went wrong.
Now I'm trying to stay up.
Still holding on.
I'm not a bad individual. I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Dropped the old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life.
Walk on. I done made some mistakes, ain't no bar mine. And it pours when it rains, hope it washed off the stains. They still look at me strange for the outcome. Yeah. How come he chose me to walk up this mountain? And all of the blessings and mercies I've seen on this journey, I never forgot one. And all of a sudden it is what it was, and I'm seeing the suffering, I'm sick to my stomach. Betrayed him for nothing, divided the judgment. He raining out curses on dirty as dust. Now how can I function? I'm knowing the life that I live could lead to destruction. Kingdom is coming. Get it together, no time for this function.
I'm not a bad individual. I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Dropped the old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life.
All right, Israel, we back, and we here once again. If you just signing on, we actually got a fellow affiliate radio show host, Mr. Brian. I'm gonna see if I get it right, Bethia. I can't get that thing right. And he said he was bad with names. I guess I'm the one that's bad with names. So what we've been showing, what we've been going over today shows the underbelly of America. We've been showing that through policies and through laws that they are still trying to prohibit the black and brown man from understanding who he is according to the Bible and why he is suffering from the oppression that he is today. And those are the major things that keep our people at a very low state of understanding and why we continue to turn against each other instead of uniting because we lack understanding of who we are. Let's go to Jeremiah 17:4 real quick. We're going to show you what's happening to our people to this day. And what was the name of the boxer?
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder. To this day. To this day. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. To this day. Read that, Jeremiah 17:4.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself,
read,
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
That's what happened to us over a time period. From the 1400s up until today, this has been slowly manipulating. No, I say the hundreds. What are the first century? What are they? What would that be? The thousands. When the Inquisition happened, they had a mindset to eliminate who we were as a people from that time up until today. That we would never know who we are as a people.
Right.
Now they say we don't even want you to teach slavery no more. Don't say that you're a victim. Everybody participated in slavery. Read that again, Jeremiah 17:4.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
What is a heritage? A heritage is a culture. It's a nationality. It's what you eat. It's how you dress. It's the days you worship. It's your God.
Your way of life.
Your way of life. All of those things, guess what? That has been taken from us. Christmas is not ours. Timberlands is not ours. Throwback jerseys is not ours. Blonde hair, what they call them, sew-ins. That is not our history.
You gonna take the sew-ins away too?
Yeah. Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Louis, that's not us. All of these things were given to us. Celebrating the Super Bowl, that's not who we are. Going to the BET Awards, that's not who we are. Hip-hop, they say hip-hop is doing it for the culture. That came out in the 1980s.
That can't be our culture, man.
So that's our culture?
Hell no.
That's why it says, read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
This is key. From what?
Thine heritage that I gave thee.
We have discontinued from the heritage that God gave us.
Right.
That God gave us. Even it's so bad today, even if you try to come back to your heritage, which is the Bible, the understanding that you get, it was given to you by your oppressor. The white man, there's nothing wrong with the Bible, but there is a problem with the theology that's being taught out of the scriptures. They say that December 25th is Jesus Christ's birthday. That's not in the Bible.
Hey, stick right there.
Nope. Yeah.
Stick with John 10:22.
Yep.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter, so we're in the winter season. And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. So for all our Christianity brothers and sisters, this is the holiday that Christ celebrated. That's what was given to us from God. And when
in the winter.
And when in the wintertime. And we discontinued to what? To Christmas. Yep. To a white Santa Claus.
Yep.
With gifts.
What kind of Bible you reading? Like Michael was saying before we went on break, we don't know who we are as a people. We have been disconnected from our true heritage. Now we eat the worst parts of an animal, and that is a black man's delicacy. Pig's feet, chitlins, hog maw. We take slave meals, and now that's what associates with black culture. That's how you know we have been disconnected from our heritage that God gave us. We don't have a land. We fight over neighborhoods and projects that we were put in.
Right. If you get fed like that for let's put 200 years,
right?
Naturally, your body will crave to eat like that.
There you go. Yeah.
I just don't understand how people eat chitlins.
We tell you from New York, we know we don't play that shit. That's something we never ate in New York.
Soul food started in New York.
Not
Y'all at home with soul food.
No, we love soul food back home, but chitlins?
Hey, tell them Sylvia didn't serve that. Sylvia didn't serve.
Nah.
She didn't serve chitlins.
hey, that's funny you said it. In Brazil, pig belly is a delicacy.
There you go.
Yeah. They cut it like it's like sushi, and the way they cook it, like the chefs use it to make it a delicacy.
Brother, you acting like you ate some of that?
Nah. It's documented. You can look it up.
Ain't no way.
Oh, praise! Ain't no way.
So what we showing is all the things that we just read about is documented that we would have these occurrences amongst our people. Because you ask like we went over earlier, you ask a black man who they are, they don't know, and it's because God took us away from our heritage. He took us away from our culture. Finish this verse all the way through.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not.
That's what happened. He causing us to serve our enemies in a land which thou knowest not. So you got to ask yourself, who is the enemy of the black and brown man here in America? All you got to see is look at your paycheck. John Weinstein, Michael Lee, Allah Akbar. All these are your enemies.
The question is, who's not the enemy?
Right.
Who's not against
nations have joined together against us. Go ahead.
You remember, Brian, you remember a few years ago what happened with the Clippers organization, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And the leaked conversations, right? And what did they do? They took the team away from one billionaire.
Gave it to another.
They gave it to another. Right. Going back to like what Cap said earlier, if they say, you know what? This is an opportunity for us to bring a so-called minority owner into the league to try to right a wrong. No.
Nope.
No. We ain't gonna do that.
Shut your white mouth.
Not on this level with this kind of money. We're not gonna do that. Now we will make a public apology and we'll take the team away from that guy. I want to show y'all something. That's not the first time that happened.
Right.
Because there was a woman that owned the Cincinnati Reds.
Marshawn.
You remember her, right?
Yeah, I remember her, yeah.
Right? And she was openly racist. She was so bad that the men of the league had to say, you know what, we just got to get rid of her. Because she was embarrassing all of them.
Right.
But they had an opportunity. And what did they do? Gave it to another white man.
Well, I think, and this goes back to the discussion, I agree. I want to add this. I agree, since you brought that up, with Colin Kaepernick kneeling.
Right.
And I've had this discussion with plenty of friends of mine or what have you, both white and black, who disagreed or who agreed or what have you. And the major misconception is that it was about the flag,
right?
And it never was.
Yep.
You know, and I've had to explain that continuously about that. But as you stated, the leagues have had a chance to right the wrongs or what have you. Michael Jordan should not be the only majority black owner in the NBA.
Yep.
In a league that's what 70, more than 70% black.
Yep.
You know, that is ridiculous. You know, I think at one point Magic Johnson was the only majority black owner in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
That now I think it's Derek Jeter, if I'm not mistaken. Time and time again, they've had the chance to right these wrongs, but they do the opposite, or what have you. Now, you have the chance in order to fix that. Why not? And this is a known fact. This is why we have the Rooney Rule in the NFL, you know, to make sure that minorities get a fair shot or what have you. I'm not sure what you call it, whatever. It's just that you have to give everyone a fair shot. You can't just say we're giving you a fair shot. Well, not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like I've often wondered to this day, why did the Clippers not boycott this day when they first found that out about their owner or what have you? Why did they continue to play?
They turned their jerseys inside out and went out to go do layups.
It's the same reason why everybody went and got their vaccine shot, because it's about the money. Our people are scared to lose money, and I get it. I get it. You live a certain lifestyle, you like, man, I'm gonna do whatever, but we lose our soul doing that. Go ahead, I ain't gonna cut you off.
Yeah, but I agree, and this, you know, there have been chances to really right these wrongs throughout history, not just in sports, but just in general. You know what I'm saying? The woke thing that Governor DeSantis brought up. No, I don't like the. He also brought up a bill that was to stop protesters. I believe he wanted to bring that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
In the legislation, that's sending the wrong message.
Right.
You know, if anything, you need to put laws in place to make sure that things will happen to like Ahmaud Arbery, things will happen to George Floyd don't happen again.
There you go.
And therefore, you won't have the protests. Otherwise, he's adding more protests coming down in the future by not fixing the problem at the start to begin with. And I'm sorry, I can go on.
No, you good. I want to read a verse for what you just said, because basically what you said is they implementing more laws instead of attacking the issue.
Exactly. That's where. Thank you. That's where I'm getting at. To put it in a nutshell. They're implementing more laws and more restrictions than attacking the issue at hand.
If you stop the problem, then you never get to the after effects of the problem. And the problem is, this man is the devil. That's the problem. so Mr. Brian,
you gotta drink some water on that one, right?
The problem, Mr. Brian, is that they are the issue. Hey, find that video where the dude's at the dinner table and he's talking about
Trick Baby.
No, not that one. Not Trick Baby.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The dinner. Not the Trick Baby dinner.
The Thanksgiving dinner.
The Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, when he flipped the table.
What? No. Well, he says that they are a virus. That these people are.
Oh, yeah.
Find that video.
The Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Find that video, and while you getting that, read Habakkuk.
That's beautiful right there.
In verse 4.
That's a beautiful
Habakkuk
video.
1 and 4. Yeah, it is, because it'll be able to verbalize what Mr. Brian just said a little bit more eloquently.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 4.
Now, this is what we've shown two different bills that's going to be in place. Neither of them addressing the issue, which is what unjust violence against our people. Read.
Therefore,
and I want to make this known. I ain't talking about the police. I ain't got no problem with the police. Guess what? Before you are a police officer, you are a man. You are a human being. And a lot of times these people are Caucasian, man, or Edomites. So we ain't against the police. I want to make sure I make that known. We are against sin. We against sin. But guess what?
That's right.
The Edomites do have a problem with us. Read that.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 4. Therefore, the law is slack.
Hold on, what did it say?
The law is slack.
This man's laws are slack. He creates stuff to talk about what you can't teach and what all that. Meanwhile, brothers got their knee on their neck. They ain't addressing, like he said, they haven't passed the anti-lynching bill. They ain't got rid of the 3 strikes rule. All these different things They don't address that, but they'll worry about passing a bill for how you can teach slavery. Read it again.
Therefore, the law is slack.
The law is slack. Read.
And judgment doeth never go forth.
And judgment does not go forth. Read.
For the wicked doeth compass about the righteous.
The wicked compasseth the righteous. Read.
Therefore, wrong judgment proceeded.
What did it say?
Wrong judgment proceeded.
And wrong judgment goes forth every day. They'll give you one, they'll show you one every once in a while, like the Travis Michael dude and the Ahmaud Arbery, they got convicted. But then you'll read the next day, you'll wake up. The next day, brother get out of prison. No evidence. He did 60 years and they're going to give him $1 million. What? Next day, you'll see something else. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, we know we're still waiting on that sentence.
Yeah, they ain't sentenced him yet.
Nah, not yet.
I'm not.
Because we know.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that sentence as well. I was surprised, to be honest with you, that they gave Derek Chauvin 20 years. I thought they was probably, all right, he got convicted, but I shouldn't be desensitized.
Right. Yep.
Right.
There you go.
When that happens, especially because when like the officer that killed the brother down in Texas, she only got 10 years or what have you.
That was
stumbled into the wrong apartment.
Yeah. That was crazy. I thought personally, I was shocked they gave Derek Chauvin 20 years. I thought they was probably going to give him 5.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A slap on the wrist and be like, hey, take this 5 and, go ahead.
It was too much going on. They had to give him something. There was a lot going on. George Floyd, he influenced a lot of these cases. They like, we got to give him more time. If not, the people going to go crazy. Go ahead.
There's another one that's pending right now. The lady who mistook her taser as a gun.
That's not guilty. I can already tell you right now, that's going to be not guilty.
You see how she, in the pretrial, she was just crying, and the lawyer is trying to make a case that because she was crying when she did it, and she crying in the court case now, like they trying to tie it together, saying that they trying to make a case about how she's really sorry.
Hey, you're not going to like my opinion on this, but she's not guilty. Hey, if we all know this, brother, when we get pulled over by the police, we should not supposed to be running and driving off. They're going to say, and this is going to be 100% facts, if he never put her in that position to shoot him, she wouldn't have to pull nothing.
Yep.
All he had to do was just, I think he had it was some misdemeanor type stuff. Now,
it's no doubt. Our people always, most of the time, they be guilty. Most of the time, they be guilty. Now, the white man he takes it further than what he need to. But our people, if like when we was going to Atlanta, we got pulled over. We get pulled over all the time. We roll down the window. How you doing, sir? How can I help you? Oh, license. All right, cool. And we keep it moving. Yep. They pull over. They mouthing off. They doing all. It's like, all right. Now you giving room. Why are you running? Giving room for this.
Why are you running? Let me say something.
So she have shot him? No. Should she have pulled a taser? With all them men there, she shouldn't have to pull nothing.
Right. Let me say something about that though, because I've been on the opposite end of that. I've been calm and cool and collective,
right. And you still got harassed.
And still got harassed.
Yep.
And, and because. And one particular night I was back home, I was in Harlem, and I was driving with a friend of mine, and after I just came from the poetry venue, and the cops pulled us over or what have you, and right away, not even a warning, it's like, open the door,
right?
Banging on the car, what have you? Do you have any drugs on you? Do you have any guns on you? Now I'm keeping calm because I'm like, all right, I'm a black man,
right.
All these cops, and I'm like, I know how this could go down if I open my mouth and go left, it can go left or what have you. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, pardon me, Lord. Oh, if I had a gun or drugs on me, you think I'd tell you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm wanting to say that, but I'm like, I'm not. So. I didn't know my rights.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. A lot of our people don't know our rights. A lot of us, especially at that time now, granted at that time it was more than 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
At that particular time, I was not taught before then really that a cop had to pull you over for probable cause.
Right.
And you had all right to stay in your car. Well, we know how that can go sometimes with our people as well. Yep. So, it's like, well, you don't know what to do because you're confused because you know your rights, but even though you're obeying the law, technically still because you're obeying your right to stay in the car. If you don't get out, he's going to either arrest you, beat you up, or kill you anyway, or shoot you anyway. So I got out of the car, and he patted me down. He's like, you sound kind of nervous. I'm like, I was nervous. I'm like, so this time I opened my mouth and said something. I'm like, you pulled me over. I'm being frisked. I didn't even do anything.
Right.
You know, and then he pulled me and my friend to the back of the car. Now, I noticed I'm going to do my best to, family, please be mindful of when you get pulled over by police and they pull you to the back of the car. If you can without being hurt, look to make sure, you know, back at your car to make sure that another officer is not searching your car illegally. Because that's what happened to me. And they had a third officer searching my car illegally when I did not give them consent.
Right.
And so I asked the one particular cop 3 or 4 times, why did you pull me over?
Right.
And at the end of the stop, this guy points to my busted taillight lens.
Wow.
I said, you know what? He's letting us go. Let me not and just keep it moving. Now I get what you're saying.
Yeah. No, you're 100% correct.
People can pop off at the mouth. Like now, I could have popped off at the mouth,
and you'd have been gone. We wouldn't be having this interview.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, no, trust me, I agree with what you're saying. Our people are wrongfully accused all the time, but the fact that you made it out shows that you can make it through. I ain't saying it's right. But the only protection that you really have is the Most High. Give me that Deuteronomy 28.
That's right.
Give me Deuteronomy 28. I want fear. I think it's 50-something.
60. Wait a minute.
I do want to say this.
Yeah.
65.
Family, always keep your cool.
Yep.
You know, I know it's hard and I know it's aggravating, but always keep your cool.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But do what you can and still ask questions, but keep your cool because don't give them a reason to do anything else.
Yep. Because guess what? Whether you know your rights or don't know your rights, you ain't got no rights. We are denizens here in America. Right. Because when they pull you over, they don't give a damn what you say. The scripture says, keep thee far away from a man that have power to kill thee.
Right.
And that's what you got to understand when you're in those situations. How can you get home? It ain't a pride muscle. No law, don't know law. Your behind better obey with the adversary quickly. We're gonna read that next.
And what's crazy though is he did get shot because he's black.
Yep.
Because we all seen the videos. White people will run off and pull off quick. It'd be a chase.
66. That's what I want.
We showed a video of an officer trying to pull over a white guy, and the white guy literally beat up the officer and took the police car
and drove away.
We showed it on our show before.
Yep.
He had his gun out. He refused to shoot someone that looked like him.
Yep. Read that. We running out of time. We got 5 minutes left. Go
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
Start at 65.
Verse 65. And among these nations.
So, Brother Brian, what you was talking about is what our people experience. That's a curse that God placed on us. Read that.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
Because that don't just happen here in America. That happened in Brazil. That happened in Europe. That happened all over the world, that same feeling. Read.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
A trembling heart. That nervous feeling whenever you pull out and you like, damn, is that the police? Your mama been training you from the time you was born. The second you see the police, put your seatbelt on, act right. Make sure nothing, turn the light off, nothing. You don't want to draw no attention to yourself. That is a curse. That's not natural. Read.
And failing of eyes, and sorrows of mind.
Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
We are the only people that experience that. White people don't know what that feels. They don't understand what it is to see a police officer and be scared. It was a video I saw the other day. A young man outside playing basketball, and he see the police officer, and he hide behind his car until he see the police officer drive all the way by. That's what's naturally embedded in our minds because we're worried, but that's a curse. Like we said, nobody had to teach him that. Go ahead.
I wanted to add this as well. Back home one day, a lot of other races have an inherent fear of us, but what's portrayed, how we're portrayed in the media.
Right.
And I know this was a crazy experience. I was on the Long Island Railroad. And this white lady and this black lady had gotten into an argument or what have you. And this white lady was cursing the sister out. But the sister kept her cool when she was speaking to her professionally or what have you. And I'm just peeping the whole situation. I'm wondering how they're going to handle this. Now, the train conductors come up and they didn't say anything to the white lady. But they went immediately to the black woman for whatever reason to calm her down. And it just struck me as like, why would they not go to the white lady who's clearly cursing out the system, who's being professional? It's like, you know, even when you do the right thing, sometimes in a situation like this, the way the system works, you know, you're just not sure how to act, because, you know, if you act one way, you know, they're going to do something bad to you. If you be as professional as possible, they still going to, you know, in cases like that, they would still do that. So, I mean, so I say this to say, in a situation like that, America, finally realize, please, what Dr. King had mentioned back in his I Have a Dream speech. It doesn't put someone on the content of the character. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way in the world that sister should have been taught to like that first. So it's an inherent fear of us. And I understand this happens in China. A lot of times they're afraid of black people because of what they see
on TV.
On TV or what have you. So
Hey, pull up the video. Y'all got the virus video? We're gonna show that, and then we're gonna close. Cause the brother said something about they draw up laws, but they never address the real cause. And we're gonna show you they can't address the cause, because then they would be eliminated themselves. They're like, all right, how do we stop black people from getting arrested? How do we stop killing young black kids? How do we stop making merchandise of black people? All signs point back to themselves. Did y'all find it?
Yeah, they got it.
All right, let's play it. Come on.
Contribute. Say something.
You want me to say something? Fine. I'll say something. You people. You're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us. And I hope that happens very soon.
Wow. This evening obviously hasn't gone as I hoped.
You could know. So that's what I was trying to explain, Brian. These people are a virus. Now they put it in the movie, but that's a true statement. Everything that they do brings death upon the earth. Give me that Revelation 6 and verse 4, I think it is. Revelation 6 and 4. And notice he said you people. I'm so glad he said you people, because it's all of them. They all in cahoots. Revelation 6 and read verse 8.
Revelations chapter 6, verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death.
His name was Death. Now, when you read the book of Revelation, I know a lot of people don't understand it. All it's talking about, the red dragon is a similitude for the red nation, which is who? The Edomites. Today you go know them as white people. And right now he's giving some attributes of the Edomites. Read.
His name that sat on him was Death.
Read.
And Hell.
Death and Hell. Hell is captivity. Everywhere these people go, death and hell follow him. When he was in Europe, death and hell followed him. When he came to America, the genocide of the Native Americans, the genocide of over 100 million so-called Africans dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth. Death and hell follow this man. Read.
And power was given unto them.
And what?
And power was given unto them.
What power was given unto him? Religious power to run all the religions on the face of the earth. economic power to run all the economics upon the face of the earth, political power to influence all the nations. All of this was given to Esau, the red dragon. Read.
Unto him over the fourth part of the earth.
Over the what?
The fourth part of the earth.
That's this side. That's the new world. That's the Americas. Read.
To kill with sword.
To do what?
To kill with sword.
The blankets with smallpox. the syphilis in Tuskegee. The murder, the lynching. They call it the Red Summer. All these different things that he does brings death. COVID-19. That was the white man's creation. Read.
And with hunger. And with death.
Read.
And with the beast of the earth.
These are all the attributes that Esau has brought upon the face of the earth. He brings death with him. And the only way you can get rid of a virus is to destroy it. And when the Messiah returns, that's exactly what is going to happen. But vengeance is his, saith the Lord. So we ain't telling you to grab arms or grab guns. You ain't gonna do none of that. So, hey, once again, it's the Lion's Den radio show. Brother Brian, you got any last words for the people?
Yes, I want to. First of all, I just want to thank y'all for having me on here, and I really do appreciate it. And yes, I do. If y'all like to follow me on my social media, the Phoenix 516 on Instagram and Twitter. That's ThePhoenix 516 on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also follow me on TikTok with Brian, BRIAN, T, and then BETHEA. And you can also follow me on, definitely listen on WJHM 102jams.com for my podcast, Confessions with Brian T. Bethia.
Okay. Now, 102 Jams, how long you been down here in Central Florida area?
I've been down here in Florida since 07.
Okay, because I remember growing up, 102 Jams used to be, it was 101.9 back in the day.
Yeah.
What? I forgot the name of the dude that used to run the show, man. He was a good host, but 102 Jams, it ain't no more rap stations no more, man. They don't eliminate rap, man. I can't find no stations, man. What's going on with that?
Well, they eliminated, it seems like, almost all the R&B stations.
Right,
you know what
right.
I'm saying? I can't even get a Quiet Storm on
Yeah.
no more.
Damn.
It's hard.
Damn, no more Quiet Storm?
No more Quiet Storm, man.
So, hey, we appreciate you for making it out. Hopefully we can have you again.
Yeah.
Once again, it's the Lion's Den radio show every Sunday at 7 o'clock. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay in the spirit. All right, with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
This is the kind of monsters we're dealing with. And you running and you think we're the wolf pack? We were the ones that was dragged and brought over here on the slave ships, and you made a monster out of us.
Which spirit you rolling with? Either you rolling with the spirit of Satan and who's waiting for the lake of fire, or you gonna roll with the spirit of Christ.
Created, manufactured right here in the Americas. Don't slip on that. This new Negro that we see today was a creation. If you walking around worrying about your breath when you know death and destruction is everywhere, nigga, you gonna die.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart, The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.